I have the questions here on my phone, and then I have like my notes that I took on the topic. So my ideal team, I work at Olive Garden, and I feel like our teamwork dynamic there is that nothing can get done unless we're all collaborating and being highly communicative. And like the success of us all doing our jobs, because they're all interconnected, relies on us having a very highly collaborative and just like helpful dynamic. And we're not all like, we have each of our own roles, but we also can like step in to like help other people too in those specific roles if need be. So it's kind of like we all have these shared goals that everyone's dedicated to, which is like making sure our guests are having like a good experience. And we all contribute. And then in my classes right now, I'm in event management capstone, so I have a team for that. And then I also have a PR class I'm in. We're working with the client, and I have a team for that. And I would say that as like what I've noticed is that I work better in smaller groups, because I feel like there's less competing, like I guess like ideas or perspectives, and less people to get on board about something. So it's easier in that way. And I feel like I work really well with like laid back people and people who are not like super micromanaging. I work well with people who are actually interested in what we're doing and dedicated to that, because it actually like boosts their performance level in that, and really communicative people. So I would say like my dream team would be a hardworking team, a flexible team, a warm team. I think like that makes all the difference if you're super welcoming and warm. An encouraging team, like verbally encouraging, and then also a self-aware team, a team that's like very much aware of their own actions and how that impacts the group, and is willing to take responsibility for things if needed. At my table would be the 6 people. Jesus, I am like Christian, so I included that there. My mom, my boyfriend, my best friend, my mentor, and my dad. Those are my 6 people, and they're there because they each speak to different points in my life. I feel like they're the people I'm most vulnerable with, and they know the most about me, and they're also people that I actually admire their wisdom and how they do life. And so I feel like you should always take advice from people that you admire and not and so I think like that's why they're there. In terms of how my table is like demographically, I have my 2 parents who each have their own like multiracial background, and then my boyfriend is Mexican. My best friend is Ethiopian, and my mentor is a white woman. And so I think like I just hit people of just different ages. Like my parents versus my boyfriend, my best friend are going to be a different age. My mentor is 28, so I think like there's a good balance there. They're all Christian, so I don't have that most like diversity of like religion. And then difficult conversation stimulator. So there's this person that I know in an organization I'm in, and he has like very strong opinions that are kind of like hurtful towards people of color. And doing this simulator, the 3 things of establish a collaborative goal, get curious, and tell a personal story. I learned that it's sometimes most beneficial to like just ask them about their life experiences. That was huge. Like instead of being combative about it, being like, hey, like what environment were you around that led you to this idea? Or how many people who have challenged this way of thinking have you been exposed to when you were forming this idea? And just coming from a heart posture of like, I'm curious about your perspective, even if I don't agree with it. I feel like we need more of that today. And I think what I learned is that to kind of gauge like if they're being hurtful and just combative, it's just better to just step away from the conversation if you don't think it's going to work towards a collaborative goal, which is why it's the first step. So I felt like that was a really powerful takeaway, that it's about actually understanding people and not always proving that you're right. And then the active citizen continuum of member, volunteer, conscientious citizen, and then an active citizen. For my community now, I'm at Virginia Tech as a student, and I feel as though right now, I would say I'm in between like a volunteer and a conscientious citizen. Reading on like the lecture slide on volunteers, well-intentioned but not well-educated about social issues, and then conscientious citizen, concerned with discovering root causes and ask why. And I feel like there are certain things that I'm just not that educated on. I think one I've become more educated on is like food access for college students, and just like the different disparities there, and like what I can actually do to contribute to our food pantry here, and just help volunteer and just gain resources and actually learn about how it serves. So there's a lot of resources on campus that I just was not, aware of. There's SOAR, which is helping underrepresented students here, and just kind of understanding like the root causes behind that, and just the amount of things like depression and anxiety that I see so common here on college campuses. I feel like I'm in between that, and I think I'm still discovering like how to become active in these values, and how to serve my community, and how to serve here at Virginia Tech. And then community mapping. Drawing on my map, I had 3 main areas: Chi Alpha, which is a Christian ministry I'm in here, my family, and dance. I'm a dancer. I feel like Chi Alpha and my family have had positive impacts. They've instilled in me my core values of treating people with empathy and compassion and humility. And then dance actually has contributed negatively. It just instilled a lot of negative like body image issues that's well known in the dance community. And so it's really interesting to kind of reevaluate the communities you're in and how they have an impact on us.